Good morning, children. So, today we will be doing the Indian System of Medicine ISM. India has its own well developed alternate system of healthcare, namely Ayush, consisting of 6 systems: Ayurveda, Yoga, Unnani, Siddha, Naturopathy, and Homeopathy. So, India has its own healthcare system, which is Ayush. Now, at present, there are 3,167 ISM hospital, 26,000 dispensaries, and as many as 7 lakh registered practitioners in India. ISM has huge potential and can solve a part of our healthcare problem because they are effective, safe, and inexpensive. So, ISM has a huge potential to solve the healthcare problem, and moreover, it is effective and it is not so much expensive. Little efforts have been done to set up a framework to standardize education or to promote research. So, this line means that very little efforts have been done to promote this system, this Indian system of medicine, that is Ayush. You will not find so many homeopathy means centers where children are trained on these lines. Ayurvedic hospitals you will not find. Okay, there are very less numbers of it. Okay, even we know that allopathic or homeopathic Ayurvedic treatments are less expensive than the allopathic ones. So not much steps or much efforts have been taken to standardize this education, this homeopathic or Ayurvedic or naturopathy education. Okay, which in total we call Ayush. Okay, so indicators of health and health infrastructure. It is a well-known fact that India is the second largest populated country in the world, but the health status of a great majority of the people is far from satisfactory as compared to China. Expenditure on health sector is just 4.7% of total GDP. It is extremely low as compared to other developed and developing countries. India has about 17% of the world's population, but it bears a frightening 20% of the global burden of disease. So expenditure on health sector is just 4.7% of the total GDP. It is very low as compared to the other developed and developing countries. India has 17% of the world's population, but it bears a frightening 20% of global burden of disease. Means 20% of diseases are found in India among the Indian population. So, what is global burden of disease? It is an indicator used by experts to measure the number of people dying prematurely due to a particular disease. Just as I said, means the burden of disease means maximum diseases are found in the Indian people only. Particular disease as well as the number of years spent by them in a state of disability owing to the disease. In India, more than half of the GBD is accounted due to communicable disease such as diarrhea, malaria, tuberculosis. So, in India, 17% of the world population stays, out of which 20% are suffering from the diseases, especially communicable. Every year, around 5 lakh children die of waterborne disease. The danger of AIDS is also looming large. Malnutrition and inadequate supply of vaccines lead to death of 2.2 million children every year. At present, less than 20% of the population utilizes public health facilities, and only 38% of the primary healthcare centers have the required number of doctors, and only 30% of the primary healthcares have sufficient stock of medicine. So every year, around 5 lakh children die of waterborne disease. The danger of AIDS is also still there in India. Malnutrition and inadequate supply of vaccines. Vaccines do not reach everywhere. So inadequate supply of vaccines and malnutrition of the children lead to death of millions of children every year. At present, less than 20% of the population utilizes primary health facilities. Means not the whole population have access to the primary health centers. Only 20% of it have access to the primary health facilities. 38% of the primary health centers have required number of doctors, and only 30% have sufficient stocks of medicine. So out of the primary health centers, very few have the required doctors and the required medicines, and very less percentage of the people have access to these centers. Moreover, vaccines do not reach everywhere. It does not reach the interior parts. Malnutrition is prevalent. Okay, and 5 lakh children die because of this waterborne disease. So that is why it is always said that to keep your surroundings clean, to maintain proper sanitation. Okay, so this is the indicators of health and the health infrastructure. So GBD is an indicator used by experts. This you have to remember. That is the global burden of disease, full form. Okay. Now, indicators of health, under that, infant mortality rate comes. Okay. Then, see, infant immunized, health expenditure, government health spending, out-of-pocket expenditure, birth by skilled attendants, under 5 mortality. So, all these are also indicators. No need to remember it, but just you can go through. Now, tables can come like this also in the final exam. They can give a table like this and they can give you subsequent questions regarding this table. So table study has to be done very, very nicely this year. Next, we will be coming to rural-urban divide. Okay, in the next video. Thank you.